right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Summer sizzle. The heat builds through the week, and Friday could be the hottest day of the summer. Why it's not just the afternoon heat that has us concerned.
Plus, the inside story about when this happened to their house. Tonight, hear from the family at home when it happened. And our top story tonight, a family shot but expected to survive.
I'm just thanking God right now. That's all I can do.
Why police say a kid feud is to blame.
Just hours ago, that South St. Louis man told police his neighbor shot him, his wife, and his young son outside their home. Good evening. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. The gunfire broke out this afternoon in the Dutchtown neighborhood. New tonight, that recovering father is talking only to 5 on your side's Robert Townsend.
And Mike, tonight the triple shooting suspect is here in the city jail. He tells me that wounded man, again, he says that he's just glad to be out of the hospital. He says the suspect shot him and his family after a petty argument among children. Fresh out of the hospital.
That was just horrible, man.
A bandaged, bloodied, and furious Josh Eberhardt told us about the gunshot wounds he, his wife, and their son suffered allegedly at the hands of their neighbor.
Some kid stuff. He say, she say.
Eberhardt told police around 2 Monday afternoon his neighbor, who lives 1 block over, fired gunshots at him and his family.
At least 8. He hit the ground a gang of times.
He says on Sunday his son and the man's children had an argument. Eberhardt says this afternoon that feud escalated into a fight outside their home between his 12-year-old son and the suspect's 14-year-old daughter.
So they get to fighting right here, and then he just unloaded the pistol.
Bullets.
Bam, he hit me first.
Suddenly flew.
He hit me in my leg, he hit my 12-year-old in the thigh, and then he hit my wife in the foot and in the leg. Blood pouring out his leg. He's 12 years old. I just ripped my shirt off, tied around his leg.
He says blood-stained trails dot the paths where they ran for their lives, and his son knocked on the neighbors' doors for help.
I just turned at him and I looked at him. I said, man, damn, you gonna keep trying to kill us?
Paramedics rushed the 7th grader and his mom to a hospital. Dad drove himself to a hospital. Police arrested the suspect at the scene.
I just saw the man with the gun and I heard them saying, stop shooting, my family's right there.
This neighbor called 911.
It's very upsetting because why would anybody be shooting a family and kids especially?
I'm just thanking God right now. I'm praying for his family as well because, you know, he messed up.
Again, tonight, Eberhardt's wife and son are still in the hospital. As for that suspect, again, he's in jail awaiting charges. Live downtown, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Taking a live look over downtown St. Louis tonight. Temperatures have cooled off, but the heat and humidity will be building this week. Let's get to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with the weather first forecast. So the hottest days of the summer on tap.
Yeah, it looks like as we head towards Thursday and Friday, we will be in the triple digits. It'll feel like it certainly by tomorrow afternoon. This afternoon, we were close, mid to upper 90s for your heat index values, only held down because of the clouds from earlier today. And we've had a couple of little stray showers and thunderstorms popping up east of St. Louis, but nothing substantial. Your prime heat is coming Thursday, Friday into Saturday. These will not be record high temperatures for the day because we're talking records this time of year that run in that 103 to 108 degree range. So, but still, these are some of the hottest days we may see yet this entire summer. 101 on Thursday, 102 for the high on Friday, 100 on Saturday. With the humidity, it will feel closer to 105 or 106. So here's what we're thinking. It's a battle of the heat versus the storms because the storms are trying to keep the heat from getting in here, but will have limited impact as we head towards Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That means afternoon heat index values should have no problems getting into that 100 to 105 degree range. And those warm morning low temperatures, that's a problem, especially in the city where it may not get below 80 degrees for a few nights later this week. More on that and maybe some little relief later in the weekend in a few minutes.
Stay ahead of this week's hot forecast. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355. We'll send it to your phone.
Tonight, for the first time, we're taking you inside a South County home destroyed by a car that went airborne and plowed straight through the front room. The 73-year-old driver was killed. 5 on your side's Laura Barczewski walks us through as the family says goodbye to their home.
Derek Wenzel and his family have lived in this house on Kingston Drive for nearly 5 years.
We couldn't have been happier. A good home for the dogs, for the kids, good school.
And it was all taken away in an instant when driver Cheryl Doyen had a medical issue sending her car flying across 4 houses.
At the initial impact, you could see the house shift completely and actually go back, and you could almost see the concussive breathing of it. It was intense.
Unfortunately, Doyen didn't make it. She was their neighbor just blocks away.
She had a cat, which they did find another home for her, thankfully. And she never wished any harm on anybody.
Where these boards are now is where just days ago a car was, making this house at first unlivable and now even unfixable.
It is going to be demolished, most likely Tuesday. They're coming to look and see what they can't do for knockdown purposes. And after that, it's going to be a lot and going to be sold to the next developer.
But before that happens, Wenzel's partner Victoria Shuttle wanted to share how the crash felt from the inside.
We heard a boom. Before we could react, the boom had come to the house, and it was like a bomb went off. Everything was loud, stuff flying everywhere.
Her nephew was just one brick away from being seriously injured or worse.
He was right here on this bed, sitting in the middle of the bed, playing his tablet.
The damage reached all the way into the basement where Wenzel would have been if he was home. Their dog even narrowly escaped.
And my chair was all the way across the room with the dog's cage with 200-pound bolters sitting on it.
Shuttle says while it only took an instant to change their lives,
it was a lot.
It's going to take longer to put them back together.
At this point, all we can do now is pick up the pieces.
With one last hug, they say goodbye to their old home, knowing their true home is wherever they're with each other. Reporting in Lime, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
And the family now has a GoFundMe to help them find a new place to live until their current landlord can hopefully put them in a new home. We do have a link if you'd like to help on KSDK.com.
Developing tonight, a person of interest is in custody, connected to a deadly overnight shooting in Wood River. Officers responded to a home on Tennyson Avenue just after 4 this morning. They found 23-year-old Jacob Wall had been shot. Wall later died at the hospital. Charges have yet to be filed in the case.
Tonight, a deadly car crash in Kirkwood remains under investigation. Police were called to Doherty Ferry near Geyer just before 2:30 Sunday afternoon. They found a car with a woman driver dead inside. Neighbors tell 5 on your side the driver was going 60 to 80 miles per hour when she hit a pole. Many say speeding has been an issue for a while.
So if you have a lane here that's 14 feet, they're going to be doing 12 miles an hour faster than they should be just because of the comfort level. There's so much room. It's the width of a highway lane.
The Kirkwood Police Department told 5 on your side they're not releasing any other information about this crash.
Student loan debt, many Americans have it, and unfortunately most will have to start paying those loans back soon. Tonight, a question our Verified team has received. Can you get that debt wiped clean if you file for Chapter 7 or Chapter 13 bankruptcy? Here's Megan Bragg.
Our sources are attorney Kimberly Sheik at the Sheik Law Office and studentaid.gov. According to studentaid.gov, you can have your federal student loan discharged in bankruptcy court if you can prove that repaying those loans would impose undue hardship. But Sheik says that's an uphill battle and your creditors may challenge your request.
So it becomes extremely difficult to get those student loans discharged in bankruptcy.
She says in order to qualify, you would have to prove to the court that you make such a minimal income that you would not be able to pay off those student loans.
It becomes problematic because with federal student loans, you can qualify for income-driven repayment programs that's based off of your income and your monthly living expenses. That IDR can be as low as $0 per month.
Sheik says just filing for Chapter 7 or 13 bankruptcy won't automatically wipe out student loan debt, but it can be a way to keep your head above water.
Filing Chapter 7 in order to get rid of the credit card debt or previous repossessions, previous evictions, medical debt, you name it, usually helps to get people on the right path so that they can then go and address their student loan debt.
So what can you do if you're swimming in debt? Sheik says contact a bankruptcy lawyer to look at all of your options.
Income-driven repayment. If there's other debts that they're dealing with in addition to student loans like credit card debt and medical debt. Give the lawyer a call. We can look at discharging those debts in order to be able to get them, at least get their heads a little above water.
With your Verify Fact Check, I'm Megan Bragg.
What would you like for us to verify? Reach out on Facebook, Twitter, or email verify@kstk.com.
Car thieves still targeting Hyundais and Kias. Tonight, the new protections for used car owners. Bigger trucks and SUVs, bigger blind spots.
Now we need to shift the focus to the safety in front of the vehicle.
Tonight, just how big those obstructions are from the driver's seat, how to put the brakes on tragedy.
The end of the week looks searing, and rain chances look limited at this point. The adjustments expected as we head into August next week.
A hearing this week at St. Louis City Hall could determine if a downtown homeless shelter can reopen. The New Life Evangelistic Center has provided food and shelter to people in poverty for decades. City officials closed it in 2017, citing overcrowding and building code violations. Since then, organizers applied for construction permits to make repairs. They fear the city might reject the shelter's application for an occupancy permit.
When they closed this facility, let's look at history. All hell has broke loose on Washington Street. People weren't shooting each other, killing each other, mugging each other. I mean, all hell's broke loose. And I'm a firm believer. You remove the salt from the city, you remove the word from the city, yeah, you're going to have that. We want to be a light.
A hearing is scheduled before the Board of Building Appeals on Thursday. The shelter says it would only take people in during regular daytime business hours. They're pushing to open a more permanent overnight shelter location in St. Louis County.
Tonight, 5 on your side has learned the Hyundai Kia theft crisis is getting worse. That is despite the automakers making anti-theft upgrades available for free. St. Louis County police say they've seen a 52% jump in theft so far this year. It's up 86% in St. Louis City. Carfax now says nearly 5 million cars nationwide still need that fix. The vehicle history research company is now warning potential Hyundai and Kia car buyers.
For any consumers who are searching and thinking about buying a used Hyundai or Kia, the warning on the vehicle history report is very prominent that says this car has not yet got the fix. That doesn't mean you shouldn't necessarily buy that car, but it means that your first stop should probably be your local Hyundai or Kia dealership.
The upgrade takes about an hour. Any dealership can install it. For more information on the makes and models of affected vehicles, look for this story on the As Seen on TV section of KSTK.com.
Pickup trucks and SUVs dominate our roadways, and as they grow in size, so does the risk to cars around them because of blind zones around the hood. Tonight, Consumer Reports demonstrates the problem and how you can protect your family.
Influenced by Consumer Reports testing of rear visibility, backup cameras have been required on all new cars since 2018.
Backup cameras have saved lives and given us all that additional view when we're moving backward. Now we need to shift the focus to the safety in front of the vehicle.
Latest data from the NHTSA shows that in 2020, there were over 500 deaths and more than 10,000 front-over injuries due to forward-moving vehicles. And a disproportionate number of front-over victims are children. According to Kids and Cars, about 81% of victims are 6 and under. One reason? As vehicles have grown in size, so have the blind zones around them. Here's a demonstration from Consumer Reports.
So we're going to use Mr. Bear here to simulate a small child. You let me know when you can see him. Anything?
Nope.
Can you see him now?
No.
Anything now?
Well, I can just see his ears.
Where we're looking here is about 15 feet ahead of that vehicle.
Wow, that's a big distance.
And again, you're only seeing the top of his head.
There are currently no laws requiring vehicles to have front cameras or sensors.
There's already so many of these large vehicles on the road that awareness has to be part of it. If you're driving a large vehicle, maybe walk around the vehicle or make sure all kids in the area are in your line of sight before that vehicle starts to move.
A bill called the Stop Frontovers Act is in Congress and could require changes to certain vehicles to help prevent these types of crashes.
Tonight, Senator Josh Hawley is urging additional testing in Weldon Spring, where nuclear waste is buried. Today, he sent a letter to the Department of Energy calling for more sampling and monitoring sites. The site was contaminated by uranium and thorium, while explosives were manufactured during the Cold War. The plant was destroyed, and most of the debris is now in a contained cell covered with rock. Environmentalists are concerned the waste could one day leak into a nearby water supply.
In a few days, the state of Missouri will open a lottery application process for cannabis micro businesses. The Department of Health and Senior Services will start accepting applications on Thursday. Businesses can be either a wholesale facility or dispensary. The lottery will be held by September 1st. 6 micro-business licenses will be awarded in each of the state's 8 congressional districts.
Tonight, the extreme heat is building in the bi-state. It could be the hottest week of the year. Everyone's trying to find a way to cool down. And today, 5 on Your Side stopped by the Salvation Army's cooling center in the Benton Park West neighborhood, where multiple people escaped the heat. The organization says they want to make sure older and unhoused neighbors have a place to go during the day. They also have overnight accommodations,
where we encourage people to come in, take advantage of the air conditioners, get something cold to drink. Then we offer case management, emotional and spiritual care.
If you can, stay inside as much as possible, hydrate, and stick to the shade. For more information on cooling centers, head to our website, KSTK.com, go to the As Seen on TV section, and you can find there a link to an interactive map. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell joining us now with the weather first forecast to talk more about that heat.
Yeah, it is really going to get toasty here as we head towards the end of the week. And we're talking temperatures, not record breaking, but back above 100 degrees, which we have not done yet this year. 97 twice. That's been the highest we've seen so far in St. Louis. Pretty quiet evening around town, but just off to our east, we did have some isolated showers and thunderstorms bubbling up a little earlier. Over the last 2 hours, you see how that activity developed right there along the Kaskaskia River, pretty close to and just east of Mascoutah, with some cloud to ground lightning in there as well and some brief downpours. There is a boundary that's right now just off to our east and northeast. Wouldn't be surprised to see that be the focus for some additional isolated storms as we go through the nighttime hours. But in general, we don't see anything widespread at this point. 85 degrees. Feels like it's 88 with a calm wind. 93 was our high this afternoon. 75 was the low. Odds are tomorrow morning we're once again in the mid-70s in town, close to 70 in the outlying areas. It's otherwise partly cloudy with just that isolated shower or thunderstorm threat. We're not seeing any big complexes of thunderstorms developing just to our north and west tonight. So that's why we're thinking anything we see tomorrow, at least through the early afternoon into the evening, would be very much on just a spot basis. But you still have a lot of disturbed weather here coming over the northern Rockies, and eventually that's running around that upper level ridge. And so as we head into Tuesday evening and perhaps into Wednesday, another shot at least a few showers and thunderstorms before the heat really builds in. Thursday and Friday, your high temperatures are above 100 degrees, right there at it on Saturday. And of course, it's not just the heat, it's the humidity. This is what it feels like. The heat index should be around 100, maybe just a hair above for Tuesday afternoon. As we go into Wednesday, very similar, but we're starting to see an uptick here in that combination of heat and humidity. And then by Thursday into Friday, we're in that 105, 106 range around the metro area, likely to stick with that or close to it heading into your Saturday. So again, we're going to spend as much time as we can in air conditioning, checking on our neighbors. If you have air conditioning, your neighbor down the street who maybe is a little bit older doesn't, see if you can invite them over. Maybe they can come visit. And you can also help out by making a donation to cooldowntlouis.org. It's an easy online donation. They're out doing the business of keeping people safely cool with air conditioners and helping pay those electric bills. So here's a look at your Futurecast. Weather First Futurecast isn't overly exciting here. It's hot, it's steamy, but there's not much in the way of organized thunderstorm activity. Maybe as we head into tomorrow evening, we'll see a little uptick on that, but with the extra clouds tomorrow, that's why we're only holding it at 96 instead of going warmer. And we will keep that storm chance in there Tuesday and Wednesday. It becomes more isolated though, heading towards Thursday and Friday and Saturday as your temperatures soar back into the triple digits. Here's the good news though. Next week, we're back into the lower 90s. So going into August, maybe this is the worst of the heat we'll see this year. Can't say for sure, but let's hope.
I like that thinking.
Yeah, let's hope. All right, Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, everything we have tonight is local. The Cardinals playing, City SC hiring, the Raceway gearing up, and a man who just ran 47 miles. Stick around, please.
The Sports Desk is sponsored by Jim Butler Chevrolet, the Midwest's #1 Chevy dealer 10 years running.
Did you ever think we would have a game in late July where the Arizona Diamondbacks would have 10 more wins than the St. Louis Cardinals? The intrigue of tonight's game was Adam Wainwright. After a few cortisone shots, Waino is going for victory number 199. And Paul Goldschmidt says, Waino, I got you covered in the first. This is 444 feet, a two-run shot, his 17th, 2-0 Cardinals. Goldie wasn't finished helping Waino. Look at this diving play to end the third inning. In the fifth, Nolan Arenado, who's hotter than Taylor Swift concert tickets. Cole Cox this one to left. 5-2 cards. He's second in the league in RBIs. Waino went 5, had some drama in the fifth, got out of it, and allowed just 2 runs total. Right now, Cards lead it 5-3 in the 6th inning. So the games are secondary now. The only thing that matters is, how do you make your club a contender in 2024? I think all but 4 players are untradeable. Get rid of every free agent to be and try to get assets back. Jordan Montgomery can get you some young talent. Our friend Bob Nightingale from USA Today reported that the Cardinals are making Wilson Contreras available. He's 4 months in on an $87 million contract for 5 years. Now, I don't think the Cardinals could find a taker. Heck, the Cubs couldn't find one last year at the deadline. In Wilson's defense, his OPS this month is over 1,300. Hey, you got to hear this story. This is 29-year-old Levi Lukacs. Last weekend, he set a Guinness World Record by completing a 252-mile triathlon. The previous record was 240. He swam 7.67. He biked 197.1. He ran 47.2. It lasted 27 hours, and it took place in Chesterfield and Lake St. Louis. Levi raised money for a Pedal the Cause charity which aids cancer research. He took only 5-minute breaks to eat pizza and pasta, and it was really difficult in that 27th hour.
And in the last 10 miles, I was really dizzy and really disoriented and dehydrated and all that. So I want to thank my support, because without them, I couldn't have done it. All the food and drinks was fine, but I got all the positive messages throughout the day, and that was really important as well.
We are about a month away from one of the really cool sporting events our town has, the Bommarito 500. All those cars who race in the Indy 500 will be right here in St. Louis, and the race will be broadcast right here on 5 on Your Side. Alexander Rossi will be here. He's best known for winning the Indy 500 in his rookie year in 2016. He has joined the Aero McLaren race team this year and is currently ranked 7th in the IndyCar Series standings. He raves about coming to Worldwide Technology Raceway, and he told me he's not the only driver who feels that way.
They have a passion for this event, and it shows, and they truly set the benchmark for what an IndyCar race event should be. We, as drivers and teams, encourage other promoters to look at what they do at Worldwide Technology Raceway, and it's an example of how a race should be run, promoted, presented, and it's because it's an event, right? It's not just about cars going around in circles.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
City SC introduced a new president and general manager today. He is Diego Gigolani. He grew up in Argentina, comes to City SC after 10 years with City Football Club, an organization that owns teams all over the world. City SC already has a sporting director in Lutz Pfannenstiel. So how does this work now?
Lutz will report into me in my role as general manager. He will continue being the main decision maker when it comes to sporting decisions. And I hope to partner with him and help him with everything I can to complement on the business aspects of those decisions.
And that will do it in sports.
All right, Frank, thanks.
Did you see it? Barbie's a box office breaker. How the much anticipated film shattered more than one record. Barbie not only broke the box office record for an opening weekend in the year 2023, the film also shattered the first weekend record for a film directed by a woman. Greta Gerwig's Barbie movie earned $162 million in North America. That is $9 million more than 2019's Captain Marvel, which was co-directed by a woman, Anna Boden.
And here's a live look now at Octavia, the corpse flower at the Missouri Botanical Garden. The rare plant and its clone are set to bloom sometime this week. And if you would like to watch Octavia's progress, Mott has a live stream. He posted a link to it on our website, ksdk.com. And there you have it, 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
When you wake up in the morning, if it's that early between 4 and 7, start your day with Today in St. Louis and have a great tomorrow.